This video talks you through the tutorial section available before your live test starts. Once the test loads, there are then 10 minutes to read through the information about the test structure and tutorial information about how to complete your answers and move through the test. I'm going to talk you through the things you want to pay attention to. The first page explains the structure of the online OET test. The timings for all parts of the test, described in the table as sections, are the same as the paper-based version. An optional scheduled break of 10 minutes after reading Part A has been factored in, but if you choose to step away from your screen during this 10 minutes to use the toilet, etc., then you will need to complete security checks again before you can proceed with the remainder of the test. When completing the test, standard buttons of Next and Back are used to move through the questions, but you cannot move back to a previously completed section once you have finished it. Again, this is the same as in the paper-based test. For example, when you have completed reading Part A, you cannot return to it once you have started reading Parts B and C. Any pages that require it have a reminder to scroll to the bottom to make sure you view all of the information or questions. Page 2 is the start of the tutorial and explains how you can keep track of timing for each section. A clock is available throughout the test and remains at the top of your screen for you to refer to at any time. Reminders are also given when you have 30, 15 and 5 minutes remaining, for example in the reading tests. Page 3 explains the navigation features available to you. You can either use the mouse to click and point to the space where you want to enter your answer, or the Tab button on your keyboard to move to the next available answer space. You can also use the numbered buttons on the left-hand side of the screen to move forward and back between questions within the same section. Once a question has been answered, the corner of the button will turn over. These buttons help you know where you are within a section of questions, how many questions you have left to look at, and any questions you didn't choose an answer for which you need to return to. Page 4 explains how you will view texts and case notes for the reading and writing parts of the test. For these test sections, the screen will automatically split into two. The left-hand panel will display the text or case notes, and the right-hand panel will display the questions. You can scroll independently in the two panels, for example, to move up or down between paragraphs of a text while the questions remain still. I recommend leaving the text panel open throughout the reading and writing sections of the test. You can unpin the text panel using the two arrows icon from the left-hand side, but this will cause the text to sit over the top of the questions, which is not going to be practical for adding your answers, so I wouldn't recommend doing this. To return it to its original position, click on the two arrows icon again. If you accidentally close the text panel by clicking the X at the top, then you can reopen the text panel by clicking on the document icon. The two panels are now in the recommended position for the test, and I would leave them this way. If you want to make the text in the left-hand panel larger, you can do this by clicking on the plus symbol to zoom in and the minus symbol to zoom out. From the drop-down menu, there are other preset options you can choose to have the text actual size, which is the way it is at the beginning, to fit the page, full width, or the preset percentages. The hand symbol in the top left-hand corner can be used to drag the text to a new position, and I will explain more about this in the reading and writing videos which have more text to demonstrate this function. You also have the option to highlight the text in the left-hand panel by clicking and dragging over the words you want to highlight and clicking the highlight button that appears to confirm. To remove the highlight, Simply click on the highlighted words again. The tutorial gives you the option to try out all of the functions available within the split screen, and I recommend you take some time to try these options before you move on. Page 5 explains how you can also highlight words in the questions in a similar way to the previous page's explanation about highlighting the text. Click and drag the mouse cursor over the words you want to highlight, and click the highlight symbol that appears to confirm. The highlighting function will be disabled for the 5 minutes reading time, which is part of the writing test, to be same as the paper-based version. Page 6 provides a final opportunity to check your audio controls. Before the test starts, you will complete a system check to make sure your audio is working and at a volume you are happy with. But there is a final check here of the audio before the listening test starts at the end of this tutorial section. Once the listening test starts, it's not possible to pause or replay the audio or make further adjustments other than to the volume of the recording. So in your live test, please do make use of the sample audio file on this page to check your sound, and if you do find you have some audio difficulties at this point, you'll be able to speak to the test proctor to resolve them.
This is a sample audio file. Please take the time now to adjust your volume to ensure you can clearly hear the speaker.
Page 7 explains some functionality available for answering the multiple choice questions in listening and reading parts B and C. In simple terms, you just need to click on the box containing the answer you think is correct. While you are deciding on your answer, you can also strike out any you feel are incorrect by right-clicking the mouse on the answer option. You can select and deselect and strike out and remove strikeouts at any point. Please note you only have to choose the answer you think is correct. The strikeout functionality is optional. You don't have to strike out the incorrect answer options, but you can use strikeout if you find this helpful. The tutorial allows you to try out the functions for yourself before you move on. Page 8 explains how you will provide your answer for the writing test. In this part of the test, you will type your letter into the box as shown in the example. You should lay out your letter in the same way as you would for the paper-based test, leaving a line space between paragraphs, etc. Again, you can try this out before moving to the final screen in the tutorial. Page 9 reminds you about ending each section of the test. Once you finish a section, either because the time allowed has ended or you choose to exit it early, you will not be able to return to the section. If you choose to exit the section early, you are asked to confirm your decision and, if appropriate, reminded that you still have time available to continue working if you wish. Once you click Yes, your decision is final. You can review the tutorial for 10 minutes and go forward and back between the information before choosing to start the test. After 10 minutes, which will be displayed at the top throughout, the tutorial will close and the listening test will load automatically. If you have not correctly set your screen resolution before the test starts, then the split screen will not work correctly. Instead, the texts will display over the top of the questions, and you will not easily be able to review the texts and questions at the same time. You will need to close and reopen the text panel, which will appear over the top of the questions each time you want to add an answer or read the next question. For this reason, setting your screen resolution correctly before the test starts is critical, and we have video guides about how to do this for your computer.